welcome everyone to the field dedication ceremony for Miss Madeline Dutton. Before we get started, I'd like to just recognize a couple of distinguished guests. Our board president, Denise Pavone-Wilson. Board member, George Dutton. Our principal, Angela Mazuka. Our acting superintendent, Doug Corbett. The individual now who will be maintaining the Madeline Dutton field hockey field, Mr. Keith Fisher in the back, thank you. As well as Berkeley Township Mayor Carmen Amato. And a special welcome to Miss Dutton here, or Miss Dutton and her family, former players and friends. At this moment, I'm going to introduce Mayor Amato to come on up and talk.
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor and a privilege to be here as we honor Mrs. Dutton. I refer to her as Mrs. Dutton because I was a student here at Central Regional, and you're Mrs. Dutton, so I'm not going to call you Madeline, so it's Mrs. Dutton. As Berkeley Township, very proud, over the last year, Central Regional, there was a lot of dedications that have been going on for past coaches and athletic directors and different people of significance here that made a mark at Central Regional. I'm very happy to see that you're next to be honored for all of your dedicated work here at Central Regional. So I have a mayoral proclamation I'm going to read it and present it to you. Whereas Madeline Dutton was a teacher and field hockey coach at Central Regional High School for a combination of 47 years, and whereas she began teaching physical education at Central in September of 1969, and whereas she retired from teaching in January of 2005, and whereas Coach Dutton continued to coach the girls' field hockey team after her retirement until February of 2017, and whereas during her coaching career, she won more than 490 games. That deserves a round of big round of applause. 16 division titles. Wow. Awesome. And whereas Coach Dutton was named either division, conference, or state coach of the year 9 times. And whereas Coach Dutton was inducted into the Central Regional Athletic Hall of Fame and is also a member of the New Jersey Scholastic Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Whereas today we are gathered to honor Coach Dutton for her outstanding career by joining the Central Regional School District and naming the field as the Madeline Dutton Field, Hockey Field. And whereas the dedication of the field is a fitting tribute to someone who has made a difference in the lives of so many student athletes. And now therefore I, Carmen F. Amato Jr., Mayor of Berkeley Township, on behalf of the Township Council, would like to congratulate Mrs. Dutton on this honor and further proclaim today, September 25th, 2023, as Madeline Dutton Day in Berkeley Township.
Thank you, Mayor, for taking time out of your busy schedule. Before we get going to, I also want to thank Mr. Scarpello over there for providing the food for the ceremony after. Bruce, thank you. Great job. All right. As well as Miss Lori Payton. She's my, she's there for me whenever I need her. I just want to thank her for everything she does in the athletic office. Thank you. And I would like to call up our head coach, Madison Demand.
Coach Dutton, my granny. She has been dedicated to this program for over 40 years as a coach and a spectator. Her success as a coach here is due to her unwavering love for the sport, her players, her coaches, and her program. Coach Dutton eats, sleeps, and breathes field hockey, unless of course the Philadelphia Eagles are playing. We're lucky she got here tonight because the Eagles are on at 7. Coach Dutton has been an inspiration to so many people, not only as a coach, but as a teacher here as well. We cannot go anywhere without running into someone that loves her, not even the Toll Booths on the Parkway. I can only speak for myself and my family, but I'm sure it applies to many of you as well when I say that Coach Dutton's legacy has been insurmountable at this school, and we are so happy that she is being honored as the amazing coach she was. I can only hope to be half the coach that she was and build upon the legacy that she has left behind. Congrats, fam.
So, on behalf of the field hockey program and the athletics department, we have some flowers here that I'd like you to come up and accept. And we also have a field hockey stick that we got dedicated for this day. Thank you to everyone that showed up here. I just want to show of hands of how many former players are here that Coach Dutton coached. That just shows you right here what this woman, stood for, over 40 years. 40 years. What was the stipend back then? You know what? You don't remember because it didn't matter, right? It didn't matter. The point being that Madeline, she didn't do this for the money. She did this because she loved the student athletes. She loved field hockey, and she loved Central Regional. So we're giving back to her right now by naming this field to her, and Coach, you do deserve it. So from 1976 to 2016, Coach Madeline Dutton led her field hockey players with the utmost passion, enthusiasm, and love for Central Regional field hockey. She was more than a coach to so many student athletes. On this day, September 25th, 2023, we renamed the grass field hockey field the Madeline Dutton Field. Players of today and every day after will carry on the same tradition of excellence that Coach Dutton expected on the newly named Madeline Dutton Field. Congratulations. On behalf of the Board of Education, I'd like to give Madeline this plaque. On behalf of the athletic department and gentlemen, we got her some Lace chips. Her favorite.
Most of you that know me know this is not my idea of a fun time, but I do appreciate it, and I can't get emotional because nobody knows Dutton as a softie. I did spend pretty much my entire adult life at this school, and if I had it to do over again, I wouldn't change a thing. Maybe a couple things like getting turf a little sooner and things like that. I do appreciate all the people that are here. I could tell stories about when I was an assistant coach and Pam Boyd could have played any sport, male or female, at this school and been an all-state player. Or I could go on to where I have that trouble table sitting together who their parents played for me and their daughters played for me, and now I know that my granddaughter has at least 2 players whose parents played for me. Pretty soon I'll have a granddaughter. Well, I did see Jess Sudi, you do have a daughter, so somebody she'll be around playing hockey. I do appreciate everyone that's here. I can't say a bad thing about the 40 years of coaching field hockey at Central. From the first team that I took over, Patty Fortis was on that first team. It had nothing to do with me really, except that some of you would tell horror stories of what we did. But I got the most athletic teams that I think anybody could have ever had. In the early days, the person, Lina Anderson, very few of you probably even knew who she was. Pam might know who she was. She started field hockey here. And there weren't a lot of schools in the Shore Conference that had field hockey. So we played teams like Keyport, Shore Regional, do I have to say anymore? Manasquan. We did a lot of traveling, but Central was really in the forefront because there were a lot of schools that didn't have field hockey at that time. Now, if you went closer to Philly, where I went to high school, they did have field hockey in the dark ages of the 60s. But we just had a lot of talent, and it was a little worrisome in the early years when Lacey was pulling out, because I had a lot of great players that were from Lacey Township. But some of the towns that don't get much credit for field hockey players, Island Heights. Noah Gregley is here, she played for the program. Her daughter played, two daughters, well, one daughter played for the program. Kathy Boyd, who played for me, well, was on the team for me. Her daughter played for me, two of her daughters. So the small towns, Seaside Park, I could name early on, we had some great players from Seaside Park, Seaside Heights, Ocean Gate, the smaller communities. Okay, Lacey at that time was a lot of the athletes, and Berkeley. And everybody said, oh, well, when Lacey leaves, Central sports are going to die. Well, I will tell you a story. The first year Lacey opened, and Noah Grenley is here because she was one of the assistants at Lacey that year. They did beat us. And I thought, oh no, I'll never live this one down. But then it turned into a pretty polite competition. I would say that our girls were fortunate. They were very talented, but, and this is a little unusual, I think, well, perhaps in this day and age where everybody gets a participation trophy, etc., etc. Anybody that's a true athlete wants to work to get better and put the work and time in to get better. But you as an individual will never be better if you don't play as a team. We always stress teamwork because you're only as good as the player next to you. We had some great players, like I could be here for hours if I started naming the ones that played in college or the ones that are on the Hall of Fame. But I don't think they know they were good, and they know that I appreciate them. But I also do want to thank, just a couple minutes here, to the parents of the players I had over the years. When I needed something in the early days, the parents always stepped up. You didn't have to have fundraisers, or we worked together. And in the later years, when we started taking teams to Florida to play at ESPN, Disney, every other year from '99 to, you went, Joyce, 2014 then. Parents were there. They did whatever fundraisers we needed. The parents and any players that are here should give a round of applause for your parents, because you know they were everywhere. And I always tell, and some of the stories I can't tell here, but and the parents that are involved would know that. But I do want to, one unique group that I did have, and actually one of the girls is on the varsity now. Her grandfather was a group of girl dads. And there were many of them, the Grabowskis, the Honigers, the Homage, who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting one of them, the Barretts. I don't know how those fathers ever worked. They never missed a game anywhere, right? They didn't know what they were talking about, but they cheered, running up and down the field. Some were louder than others, but that was a group of fathers that never missed a game everywhere. I did say to the one, Mr. Barrett, at the game the other night, how did you guys ever have a job? That was very unique. So over the years, we did have a lot of championships, and somebody would say to me, what was the best team you ever had? Well, a lot of people assume if you read the newspaper that it was the '86 team because we went to the state finals. Okay, yeah, I knew you were back there. That is true, but I'm not, it was the most talented team. You know, usually, even if you're an NFL watcher like I am, there's different levels on every team. That '86 team didn't have a weakness. I could put the sweeper, fullback, in those days it was called, at a forward. They could handle anything. But I could tell you stories about every team. Some of the ones like Patty Fortis's team, now they had some characters, not necessarily Patty, but Amelia and Ronnie Villano, and I could name some other ones that, we did have one who always had something to say about everything. And in those days, what is the library now was Gym B, where our team locker room was. So we went from there down to the pit, and this young lady always had something to say about something. And being the nice, understanding, and considerate coach that I was, players, they did some running up and down that hill, like if you used to go, there was a pretty big hill. And the more she talked, were you involved in that, Patty? Not you personally. The more she talked, the more they ran. And I even remember she was from Bamber Lake, correct? I won't mention her name. But when all was said and done, it wasn't like, oh, I hate this coach or I hate that player. Times have changed, but the players are still players. And if you want to play field hockey, Central's the place to be. Thank you.